Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard here this afternoon. As the Edmonton OILERS, let me tell you, another quiet day. Captain skates resumed here on this fine Monday. Obviously, it's been a busy couple of past few weeks for the guys getting back to Edmonton. But still no news on Connor. PTO's kind of a topic, not really. And I'll discuss, obviously, the news of the day, if you would. And then really, other than that, let's not waste too much time on nothing else happening, because there really ain't nothing much that can happen until a couple of things do happen. So if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. It's easy and free. Do it anytime during the video. And if you enjoyed today's discussion, definitely leave a thumbs up on the video as well. I would appreciate that. All right, so I was going to put the graphic up. We'll wait a second on that. We'll discuss Klim Kostin and rejoining the Edmonton OILERS. That is the big news of the day. Coming over the weekend, apparently he said he would die for the OILERS and would love to be back and all this. I can tell you, from everything I gather, it just ain't happening. And this is whether it be reports from reporters on the organization, whether it be just, the OILERS haven't made any noise about it. Bob Stauffer hasn't said anything. No matter what you want to say, no signs other than Klim Kostin are pointing to Klim Kostin joining the OILERS on a PTO. And this is for one very simple fact. There is one major issue. I don't care, if you think, oh, Klim Kostin would be great. Oh, Klim Kostin would be terrible. Don't care. Either way, I don't. Because there is absolutely no room right now for Klim Kostin on the OILERS roster, and the amount of movement the OILERS would have to do to make it happen, quite insane. And then you have to remember here as well, you're talking about signing Klim Kostin. Now again, he's an NHL ready body. Yeah, sure, if he plays 40 games, so what? But again, he's a body that'll be riding your roster in the NHL most of the year. So cue the graphics and let's take a look at why this just simply does not work for the OILERS. I don't know how many lines of names you can count there, but there's 5. Okay, that's the problem. There are 5 lines of 3 players each on that lineup. And, well, that means there's 15 guys ahead of Klim Kostin. And that means still at least minimum one person doesn't have a roster spot to begin with over to these guys. No matter how you want to slice it. Again, David Tomaszek to the minors, sure, that solves something. Noah Philp down, sure, that solves something. Curtis Lazar not making it, solves something. Sure, but you got to remember now, one of those guys has to go down. 2 of those guys have to go down if you're planning on keeping Kostin up. But don't forget then as well, the OILERS are likely, if you're putting odds on it, more likely to carry a 22-man roster rather than a 23-man roster. So again, you're talking about 3 of these guys going down because you're carrying Stetcher and Emberson. Right? Fair? That makes sense? That's all understandable. I'm not trying to be full of myself or high and mighty. It's just the simple math here. And I mean, like, us OILERS fans take anything and run with it as far as we possibly can. I understand that. I do it personally. I get it. But it's just insanity to me today to see the absolute blown out of proportions about Klim Kostin coming in back because it just that fans want him. I get it. He's a guy who knows how to fight. I get it. He's a guy who plays tough. I get it. But there just is not room for a player of his level to be taking up a contract spot when you got these guys right now. That's all it comes down to. Again, obviously you didn't sign Tomaszek to have him playing in the minors. That was never the idea. You didn't sign, Curtis Lazar to banish him to Bakersfield. And Noah Philp has got to be, I think, guaranteed some ice time here at the NHL level, at least until he fails at the NHL level or succeeds. So, again, you would figure there, yes, there's an easy answer here as we did in the NHL 26 franchise mode. Yeet Matthias Janmark out of town, get him gone. I get it. I understand it. Now, again, the OILERS have very heavily stuck by Janmark over the past several years. So to say that we're just going to kick him out of town, I just don't know if I see that, right? I don't know if I see that happening. Obviously, Isaac Howard and Ike Howard, got to get that through the brain. And Matt Savoy are guaranteed a roster spot. I think that's, again, you might say, well, they've done nothing. I will tell you, based on everything we know and I had a chat with Patrick from the Oilers Fanatic about this as well today. Connor McDavid wants Ike Howard and Matt Savoy on this roster. And that more on that maybe tomorrow or something if we get some news on what's going to happen in terms of crease situation. But again, the Oilers need to get younger. Connor recognizes that. That's why Podkolzin's got so much opportunity, and you're just kind of doing what you're doing. So, right, Tomaszek, another guy that adds high-end skill, high-end scoring touch to the roster for a low-end cost. That's the whole idea behind Stan Bowman as general manager. So, it comes down to it. There ain't no room for Klim Kostin. And you know what? Again, you can sit here and say that, never say never. And I would agree with you, right? I think as well, if the Oilers have a couple of depth injuries to specifically the guys on the bottom two lines there, by the time we get through training camp, I could definitely see, Klim Kostin coming in game 6, game 7 of the preseason and getting a cup of coffee at least to fill a spot for 2 or 3 days at the NHL level. Trust me, I understand that he's capable. I understand that, we should want him based on his skill set. It's just the Oilers are not where they were 2 years ago. And the competition on the NHL roster, even if you don't believe in guys like Janmark and Henrique and Kasperi Kapanen, they are bona fide NHLers. And Klim Kostin basically had one season, demanded the Oilers pay him a ludicrous amount, got traded to Detroit, got his way out of there to San Jose, and honestly, when's the last time you heard about Klim Kostin until he started talking about wanting to come to the Oilers? And this is no strike on Kostin. Love the guy. Love what he was for the Oilers. Love it. But again, the Oilers just at a pure standpoint of where the roster's at, what Kostin brings to the lineup. And obviously, again, Kostin's not a guy based on experience with the Oilers that will play many playoff games. So it's kind of tough in that regard as well. So it's just, I don't know what to tell you there, right? It's one of those things, like I said, we take something and we run as far as we possibly can with it just for the sake of doing it. Again, I think the discussion around Klim Kostin should be simply shut down by there is not room. And that is not a strike on Klim Kostin. That is just the Oilers have already done all their roster building well in advance. I would assume, I think there were reports today, no PTOs forward or defense. That makes 100% sense. Because again, the Oilers will want to get some young guys that, might have had slower seasons last year, a little bit more ice time at this level in the preseason. And yeah, you can talk about the crease all you want. Again, Patrick's been on that one for 2 or 3 weeks now, where how much do you have to impress in preseason? And I mean, you'd basically have to pitch 4 shutouts to take over Stu and Pickard's spots in the lineup as a goalie coming in on a PTO. And we know that historically Oilers goaltending in the preseason, it's not great, right? Ollie Rodrigue had a great chance last year to secure spots, secure some ice time at the NHL level, and really just didn't do anything in the preseason nor the AHL regular season. So I would assume the idea here is Matt Tompkins will shoulder a substantial load for the Oilers at the preseason level, and then we'll go from there. And of course, that's the only room for action really left on this Oilers roster. So friends, back-to-back Stanley Cup finals, we'll see what happens. But for right now, I'm up on out of here.